Hey crafters, so today I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to put together these 3 super cute winter scene Christmas cards. So follow along and find out what you need to know to make these super cute cards. Once you've purchased your SVG from Etsy, you will get an email with the downloads. So you will need to download the SVG file and upload it to your Cricut into Design Space. So once we've done that, you can see I've got all 3 cards here. So I'm just going to add one of them to my canvas. And when it comes into Design Space, it does appear as it's in flat, but there are 5 layers that are connected to that. So if we were to ungroup, you will be able to see that there are separate layers attached. So you'll just need to make sure you have the correct size. So my card that I want to cut it out for is around 15 centimeters squared, but it's a good idea to work out what size you want it to cut and then resize it according to that. So I'm just going to regroup them all together so I can change the size of all of them at once. So I'm just going to make this 15.4. Now my calculations are in centimeters because that's what I work, but if yours is inches, then you need to just make sure you've got that correct. Once I've resized it to the size I want, it's just a matter of clicking make it. Then you'll see all the different layers on each different color mat. So then I'll go ahead and continue. And I always like to cut it out of cardstock for intricate cuts because that does 2 passes over the cardstock and it gives it a much better, cleaner cut. So click on that and then we're good to go. Gather all your cardstock colors together. Clean up your mat so they stick properly. Add your cardstock to your mat. This is where your brayer comes in really handy. Give it a good scrape. Now let's put them in the Cricut and get cutting. Once you've cut it out, this top black layer is quite intricate, so it's always best to turn over your mat and peel it off gently. And there it goes. That's why using the intricate cut setting on your Cricut is perfect. There we go. That one's great, turned out great. Let's get the other layers. So I've cut out all the layers for this first one and they all sit nicely on top of each other, like so. So now we just need to pop it together. So we're going to need some foam tape to give it some dimension, and also I've got some glue. This is just a craft glue. It's actually this glue, which I quite like, but I've just popped it into a smaller container with a fine nozzle, which is very helpful. So let's just pop it together. So we'll put the first 2 layers aside. Actually that one as well. Now I'm going to just put some foam tape onto this one to give this one dimension from the back. See? Now I'll just peel the backing off. We'll stick this layer onto the back. There we go. That gives it a bit of dimension in there. Now we will add the same to this one. So because this one doesn't touch the back, I'm just going to add the tape around the edges. So we'll do the house next. I've cut out all the pieces for this one. Start with the two bottom layers, and I'm just going to glue this one straight onto the back layer. Now next I'm going to take these two layers. To give it a bit of dimension, I'm going to use some foam tape between these layers. Then we're going to add some more foam tape to this layer. Add this one to these two layers. Now I'm going to stick these two together. And I'm going to stick this one onto this one too. There we go, framed. Now just going to add a little bit more dimension to this one. This one's going to be a pretty fat card, so it might actually be even better as a 3D shadow box, because then you could put foam tape between all the layers. I'm just going to add a little bit to the trees because that touches the house underneath it. There we go. Add this one. And then we will be done. There we go. So I'll grab my pre-folded card and glue it on. And there we go, that one's done. Just a side note, I'm going to add just a one onto here just to hold the deer in place. There we go, that's better. It's a bit more stable now. Now onto the last one. It got suddenly dark. There's a thunderstorm happening outside. Okay, so this one, you can do these any way you like. The order that I'm doing them in is just for my purpose, but if you want to do them another way, you want to not put any foam tape in between them and make them quite flat, I'm going to do this one a little bit flatter. So I glued those first 2 layers together, and now I'm going to glue the next layer on too. This one's just going to be a little bit flatter. And then I'm just going to glue the tree on. There we go. Now I'm going to glue these 2 layers together, and then I'll put some foam tape under this one. So that one's just going to go on there like that. So I'm just going to give this one a bit of dimension, so I'll put the foam tape on this one. We'll put a few of these little squares on the deer. We'll add this one on. And there we go, that's that one done. So now I'll grab the last card and glue this one on here. And there we go. All done. And there we go, all 3 cards done. Number 1 with the Santa. Oops, number 2 with the house, and number 3 with the tree. Excellent. Hope you enjoyed making them with me today.